You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly show for video games, movies, TV shows, comics, tech news, and more. Now your hosts, Cody Pennick, Samantha Cross, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that knows what it did. I'm Cody.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Josh with the spray bottle.
Oh, we have a great show for you this week. Thank you all for tuning in. We have a bunch of news to go over, but first let's talk about some things we've been checking out.
Check it out!
I'm a Wario. I'm gonna win.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's right. New sounds on the soundboard this week.
Yay.
Yeah, just a few.
I don't know why I didn't think of Wario before. That's a good one.
Yeah, there's some good ones. I'm going to save it for later. There's some other good ones on here. But so check them out. I have checked out, get your finger on the Power Rangers button, Cody, because we're going to talk about some Power Rangers for a minute. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, the fighting game that is cross-platform and is surprisingly good despite how janky it is.
And also the fact that a history of Power Ranger games tend to be...
Power Rangers games tend to not be super great.
you'd think for such a fun franchise, they'd make better video games.
You would think, but they've done a good job with this one. So recently they had an update with two new characters, two wholly original characters to the Power Ranger universe, but not original characters to the universe at large. They've added versions of Ryu and Chun-Li from Street Fighter, but as Power Rangers.
I mean, we've brought it up on the show before.
Yes, we have. And this had a basis within one of those Bat in the Sun fan films, those ones that they make on the cheap, usually starring Jason David Frank.
Yeah, he's in like two of them.
He's in more than two of them.
Well, I know he's in the White Ranger one and the Green Ranger one.
Yeah, he's also in their original series based on the Valiant comics. He plays Bloodsport.
Oh.
It's not like he can go into any cons, and that seems to be where he gets the majority of his money.
Yeah.
He also owns a chain of martial arts studios in California.
He does also do that. Yeah. But
Tommy's Punch Zone.
That's probably a better name than
I would. Yeah. Anyway, they made a live action short film about the Power Rangers fighting M. Bison from Street Fighter, and Ryu and Chun-Li showed up, got power coins, became the Crimson Hawk Ranger and the Blue Phoenix Ranger. And long story short, they added them to this fighting game, and they are a lot of fun to play. It is exactly what this game was missing.
Actual fighting game characters.
Actual fighting game characters with instead of having your specials be on one button, you actually have four face buttons with different attacks.
Like you did in Street Fighter.
And you put in the directional input to do their special moves. They're also incredibly broken. They're going to get fixed, I'm guessing, probably within the next couple of weeks. But right now, you can do some crazy combos with Ryu and especially Chun-Li. I shared one with you guys.
Yeah, that 108 combo.
So there's a term called Touch of Death, which basically means if you can start this combo, it's going to take out your entire life bar because there's no break. There's no chance for you to get out of it.
It would make Killer Instinct characters blush.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's why they have shadow counters and stuff in Killer Instinct, because that's what that whole game is based off of, is Touch of Death combos. And this Chun-Li player was playing in practice mode against a dummy and pulled off a full life bar to zero life bar, 108 hit combo that took the character back and forth across the screen a couple times.
Yeah, because it had a throw mechanic in it.
Had a couple throws in it and a couple of wall bounces and stuff like that. It was insane. It's a lot of fun. Been really enjoying it. I would highly recommend checking it out. And they have not only do they have the costumes for Chun-Li and Ryu, they also have looks based off of what they would look like as 90s teens with attitude. So if you've ever wanted to play as Leather Jacket Ryu and a semi-goth Chun-Li, like grunge Chun-Li.
Wait, so that episode of the Power Rangers where they got like infected by Rita and they were bad?
Where Billy and Kimberly went evil? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. That's exactly what it's based off
They
of.
had to have an excuse for to have those huge spiky bracelets.
Yep, that's it. Pretty much. But
I love how they're called like the Class of '93 costumes.
Class of '93. Yep, that's great. And if you get the special edition of it, the upgrade pack, it's like an extra $1 or $2. You get Ryu in the White Ranger costume, but with the helmet off, so you could see. So he has the headband with the thing flowing, but still has the Power Ranger costume,
Would
and it
you
looks
like the helmet
really good.
on or off?
Too bad.
Too bad.
but his helmet already has the headband.
Trust me, it looks better without the helmet. It just is. Oh, it's very, very good. The other thing I checked out was also a fighting game thing. They just released it. The company Eureka released their newest build of Fighting EX Layer onto the Switch, and it is free to start. That's you don't get online. The free version, you only get access to like 2 or 3 characters out of a roster of maybe 12 or 14, and its online capabilities are disabled, but couch co-op is enabled, and it's basically try before you buy kind of thing. And it's a lot of fun.
You'd think they would let you play online just to keep the fresh meat in there for the other players to beat up.
Yeah, you'd think.
Yeah, gotta keep that grinder going.
Yeah.
But no. So Fighting EX Layer, for folks who don't know, it actually has its basis in Street Fighter, because Eureka was co-produced Street Fighter EX1, EX2, the 3D, their first like foray into like 3D polygonal fighters at one point. And Eureka created a bunch of original characters for those games, as well as using established Street Fighter characters. At one point, Eureka and Capcom split. Eureka took all of their characters and said, "Okay, we're gonna
take our toys and go home.
We're gonna make our own thing." And it is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. It has my favorite character, Skullomania, in it. He's the best. He's like a Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I remember.
But Skull.
Isn't he in Street Fighter 5?
He's not in Street Fighter 5.
You're thinking of Akira?
Akira from Rival Schools, which is going to be out soon.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. No, Skullomania, he has shown up in a couple of games here and there as like guest characters. Most noticeably here recently,
King of Fighters.
SNK Heroines.
Yeah.
Where he was magically turned into a girl.
Just like Terry.
Oh, and Iori, but I found out Iori actually isn't turned into a girl. He's disguised himself as Miss X.
It's like Gal's Fighter on the Neo Geo Pocket.
Yeah.
He was the end boss in that, but it was just him cross-dressed.
Yeah. Fighting games. All right, that's it for me. I'm good.
I haven't talked about Resident Evil 8.
No,
Village
you haven't. Yeah.
And I've had it for a couple weeks now. It's very, very good. Like, extremely good.
Oh, good.
Maybe not as scary as 7, because 7 was pretty balls to the wall scary. Also in VR, which makes it a lot scarier. I wish this one was in VR too, but even without, it's still pretty good.
Do you think the Resident Evil franchise has gotten better since they moved to first person versus third?
Yeah, I think so. But even if it was still in third person, if they still made the games this particular way, it would have worked better. Because they've dialed back the action a lot and cranked up the
suspense.
Yeah. And the adventure game elements. They're still like finding items and putting them in the right place and solving puzzles. Maybe not as much as 7 or like a real adventure game would have, but enough of it to where it's not just like action movie set pieces that don't really fit with the spirit of the game.
Okay.
I've played all the way up to I'm right before the factory, which is the part I've heard is the worst part.
Oh, fun.
But everything I've done so far before it was fantastic. The Castle Dimitrescu is very good with the big lady. It's a shame it's only like the first,
They get that part out of the way quick.
Yeah, it's like the first hour of the game, maybe hour and a half, and then she's gone. So don't expect to see a whole lot of of big vampire mommy, which is kind of disappointing. But
well, it's because she was so heavily
used for marketing,
used for the marketing of the game,
Yeah.
and memes.
Well, and memes.
She's literally the first boss, and once you've done that, she's out of the way. But the next place that the mansion with the dolls in it is so scary and so good.
Oh, really?
Like, it turns into a full-on, like, almost an indie horror game when you get there, because they take all your guns away, and it's just full-on, like, searching for items and using them in the right places and running away from this horrible monster that makes baby noises.
Oh, I watched a clip of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated
it's terrifying.
Oh,
but
man.
It's so effective and like such a good palate cleanser from the rest of the game. All of a sudden, it just changes gears on you and keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I watched like a clip of it because Nicole's one friend's playing through it, and she's like, "Yeah, he's at this part with this weird baby monster." And she pulled it up on YouTube, and I was like, "Ooh, ooh!" Like the very first thing you see is how it kills you, and I was like, "Ooh!"
I never did get caught by it.
Oh yeah, it grabs you and like pulls it into its big gaping weird monster mouth that has no teeth, and it's like in first person, and you're watching your legs slide into this freaking mouth.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, and it's
Gross.
like ugh, and it's like, and then you just hear these baby cooings and laughings and squeals and crying, and it's just like,
no, I'm good.
And the house is full of scary dolls also. They're just like everywhere, and sometimes they'll just randomly start vibrating at you.
Oh, jeez.
Like, it turns into a full, like, spookum house.
yeah, it reminded me a lot of like Amnesia.
Yeah, it's a lot like Amnesia, just for a little bit, just to keep things interesting, and then it goes back to Resident Evil.
You know, green herbs and guns.
Yeah, which there's only one kind of herb.
Oh.
Which was kind of, there's only one kind of healing item, and it heals everything. I'm like, kind of miss having to juggle like different ones that heal different amounts, but
Yeah.
they kind of dumbed it down to just like one. And there's no storage box.
Oh.
So you either have to like hold on to as much as you can and sort it Tetris it into your little suitcase, or just throw it away.
Oh, weird.
Or you can sell your weapons back to the big fat guy.
Oh, the Duke.
Yeah, and buy him back later if you decide you want it back.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's weird that there's no like storage box, because most Resident Evils had those. They really want you to work on inventory management, I guess. But it's really good. I've really enjoyed it. Top tier game not game of the year. I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. Who knows?
But yeah,
You're still early.
But probably the first really good AAA for the year, maybe.
Yeah, I can't think of any other.
I think the only other AAA games that have really come out this year have been Call of Duty. I don't remember when Cold War came out. Anyway,
listen, this is all. It is still March 2020 as far as my brain's concerned. Everything that's come out in the last 16 months has all been the same year. So I don't.
I'm trying to think of
time is immaterial.
Any AAAs that have come out this year, and I'm just blanking on it.
There hasn't been a new Assassin's Creed.
I don't think has Ubisoft put out anything.
Ubisoft?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't think so. Oh, I played a little bit of Knockout City.
I did too.
That's an EA
That was
game,
my check it out was Knockout City.
Like,
okay, let's talk about it then.
I played like 3 matches, but like I kind of liked it.
I mean, I am like level 23 or something like that.
You definitely played more than 3 matches.
Yeah, I have. I actually just got an accolade for like 100 knockouts or something.
Nice.
What is
Knockout City is like this weird cyberpunk, but also like retro.
It has the greaser thing kind of going on.
Yeah, there's like a greaser kind of like a techno greaser kind of thing going on, but it's a 3-on-3. Well, the standard mode is 3-on-3 anyway. Dodgeball.
Is this the one that had the trailer where it was the 3 different video game archetypes, and everyone went, "Oh man, I wish we had that game about that angry princess."
Yeah, it had the worst commercial.
That commercial was terrible.
It was.
I never saw the commercial for it. I read like an article, like a Polygon article about it. I was like, oh, I wonder if that's any good. And I downloaded it and started checking it out because it sounded interesting. I was like, ooh, dodgeball. But there's a lot more to it than just dodgeball.
Yeah.
At its core, it's dodgeball, but it's also like third-person shooter, sort of.
I mean, there's not a whole lot of aiming. It
No.
kind of auto aims for you.
Yeah, like it locks
okay.
on. Yeah, it locks
but
on.
there's a lot of timing involved in when you throw and when you catch.
Gotcha.
And you can
Okay.
like lob the ball up. You can curve shot it, which is pretty easy to do. Just it's a matter of combination certain buttons kind of thing. Mm-hmm. There's a couple different. There's like regular dodgeballs, and they make a really satisfying like rubber bounce sound.
Oh yeah,
They have a
the
good
sound,
thonk?
the sound is perfect.
Yeah, like when you beam somebody, because you get like you basically have like 2 hit points. Essentially, you can take like 1 hit and still keep going, and then the other hit knocks you out.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Unless you catch it. You can power up your shot like holding the shock or the trigger down or whatever.
Yeah, but
and
it also makes you move slower.
Yep, and it doesn't last forever. You can't just sit there and hold it forever, unless you have like the sniper ball, which is a little different. But there's a couple different balls. There's a little bit of like movement getting around the arena. Like there's like bounce pads and things like that. And this one level has like all these weird like colored tubes that go everywhere that jet you around.
It's very Splatoon-y.
Yeah,
I was gonna say this sounds a lot like if Splatoon were dodgeball.
kinda. Yeah.
It's like if Ninjala was good.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, there it is. Okay,
I
that
tried
makes
playing
sense.
Ninjala when it first came out. I hated it.
Yeah, I didn't like it
I'm like,
either.
this sucks. But no, Knockout City, there for a while and I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I still kind of don't know how I feel about it because it's only free for 10 days
Oh, okay.
from launch.
Or if you have Game Pass, it's free.
Or if you have Game Pass.
forever. Well, not free, but you get it in Game Pass.
Yeah. But then once the block party event is done, you'll have to either shell out $20 for the game or $30 for the deluxe edition or whatever, and which basically just gives you some in-game money and some exclusive cosmetics.
Which that seems like a fair price for what it is, for what
Yeah.
I've played.
Yeah.
And I guess like they're going to rotate different kind of modes and stuff like that. The one-on-one head-to-head match, it took me forever to actually get a win.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not like it really solidified for me. I'm like, I'm not good at this game.
1v1 me, bro.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's like a bunch of different special kind of balls. There's a multi-ball that gives you like 3 balls to throw. There's a bomb ball that as soon as you pick it up, it starts counting down.
The cage though is very clever.
Oh yeah, cage ball's fun. You throw it at somebody and it lock. Oh, that's another thing you can do in the game. You can hold down because I've been playing it on Switch. You can hold the right button down, and you character balls up into a little ball like your Samus and Metroid, and you can you can roll yourself around, but one of your other teammates or somebody else can pick you up and throw you.
Oh,
Now,
really?
Yeah, and if your teammate picks you up and throws you, if you hit somebody like they don't catch you, it's a one hit KO. Or if they charge you and chuck you, you throw up in the air like a bomb, and you can kind of guide yourself. Like it gives you like an arrow of where you're going to land, and you can.
It's like that one in Splatoon, the big like thing that comes
Splashdown.
down. Yeah.
Oh, the splashdown. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's like that. And then there's like this weird like kind of like a radio guy that like talks all the time.
Yeah, the announcer.
Yeah, he's on a radio station on the moon. He's like a pirate radio kind of guy.
It's very Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, it gave me like 16 Samurai kind of vibes, like that whole retro kind of feel. Mm-hmm. Like one of the first like cosmetic things you can do, like when you're changing your hair. There's like one with like a big pompadour.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, when I first started it, I just kind of ran around in the your base area.
the hideout.
And tried out the controls, and then went, I don't know if I want to do this right now. I don't know if I'm going to be into this kind of game. And then later I saw some VTubers playing it, and I was like, oh no, that looks very fun. And then I went back and tried it. I'm like, yeah, I actually do like it.
Yeah, I played like one match, and I was like, maybe I should try the tutorial stuff, and I ran through all the tutorials. Like I said, it's not bad. It's fun. It can be kind of frustrating sometimes, because sometimes you'll just dominate the other team, and other times your other teammates just kind of suck.
It's kind of weird when you have those online games that have the lock-on, where you're not like, it doesn't involve your aiming skill. Mm-hmm. Like it levels it out in a weird way that I think would be really hard to balance.
Yeah, but also the game gives you like a warning when somebody's aiming at you.
Yeah.
Because you get like this red border around your screen.
Yeah, and it even gives you like what direction it's coming from. I thought it was really clever the way they handle it.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have much time.
Yeah.
This game sounds pretty awesome.
Because you can hold the left trigger and you can catch the ball if you time it right. But also you can if you click down on the right directional button, you do like a fake out throw to get somebody to like.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. You can do mind games.
Yeah, I do it
that's
all the
excellent.
time.
Excellent.
You can like kind of like feint it, and someone will go to catch it, like, and you're like, boom.
That's awesome.
Oh, and you can also knock people off the map.
Oh, really?
All the maps have like have air like hazard areas. Either it's off the side of the map, or there might be a pit in the middle or something you can't get out of. There's one level that's just a big train station, and you can push people in front of trains and stuff and knock them out.
Oh yeah, the one thing that made me like want to try it was the VTuber I was watching. She was using the glider over a gap between buildings, and a ball just wails her right in the face, and she falls down into the gap. And I laughed out loud, and I'm like, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna play this.
Oh, you can also like tackle people. Like it's the same as the dodge button, but if you do it at somebody, one, you can like dodge headfirst into a ball and it kind of bounces off of you, or you can like tackle somebody and knock the ball out of their hands and knock them back maybe into a pit or into a hazard or whatever.
It's one of the more clever games I've seen EA put out in a long, long time.
No, it sounds pretty great. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a break here, and when we come back, we'll get into some news.
This is Gail Martin.
Hi, this is Carol Kelly. We'd like to invite you to join us for our gardening and outdoors show here on WZMO. We talk about observations and insights about what's happening from week to week with plants and animals in the woods and fields around us, as well as what's going on in the garden.
In the Green Outdoors airs Saturdays and Mondays at about 9:30 a.m. right after the second cup. We hope you'll join us.
Hello, I'm Greg Dunham, the host of Long Play here on WZMO. I just wanted to take a minute to assure our many fans and listeners that my staff and I take our job seriously here at WZMO. We will always strive to bring only the highest quality audio entertainment to you and yours. Who am I kidding? We just grab whatever album's on top of the stack. Join us every Friday at 11 p.m. and Saturday at 3 p.m. for Long Play. Tune in to see what we've come up with this week. Catch us every weekend right here on WZMO.
Hey, we're back from the break. Thank you for sticking around with us. We're going to go ahead and get into a little bit of news now.
Do the Mario! Swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario!
We've got a running Mario theme.
We have a Mario theme. I was in a Mario mood when I pulled these clips. I'm going to save the other two clips for later on.
I mean, the Super Mario Super Show is enjoyable and weird.
It's weird.
Yeah, it was like my favorite show when I was a kid, like hands down.
I think I preferred the Super Mario Brothers 3 cartoon to the Super Mario Super Show.
Well, yeah, I used to think that the Super Mario World one was the best one, but if you go back and watch it now, it's the worst.
It's the worst one. Yeah. But no, the Super Show was great, and also it gave us the Legends of Zelda cartoon,
which is also great.
Yeah.
No, Captain N gave us the Legend of Zelda cartoon.
Nope.
They both were paired together.
They
at
were paired
different
together,
times.
but yeah,
Both shows were, I think.
Yeah, but they used to on Fridays they would run the Legends of Zelda episode instead of a Mario episode, because I have distinct memories of Luigi and Mario saying, "Now let's check in with the Legends of Zelda and
with your boy Link."
With your boy Link. Excuse me, princess.
See, I remember because Captain N had the one episode where he went to Hyrule, and then after that is when they created the Legend of Zelda cartoon.
Did Captain N come before Super Mario Super Show?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I refuse to look this up.
Okay, I'll look at it. You guys find a news topic. I'll look this up.
Anyway, we'll get into the news here.
How did a Captain N episode? Dragon Warrior.
Oh.
And you know what Dragon Warrior is called now? Dragon Quest.
or more
Perfect segue.
Or more that it was always called and we changed the name of it.
Yeah.
Perfect segue.
Whatever had the copyright on Dragon Quest in the 80s, it ran out, and now they're allowed to call it Dragon Quest. But there was a big live stream presentation for Dragon Quest, a Japanese presentation for Dragon Quest that Square Enix let us watch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is what it felt like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it was interpreted live by an interpreter just trying her hardest.
She was really, really trying
to keep up with two people chatting.
Chatting quickly.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I saw people giving her a hard time on Twitter. It's do you not understand what she is doing? That would be hard if they were both speaking your native language and you were repeating back what they were saying. At the same
having
time.
to hear it, interpret it, and say it while the next line is coming. It's got to be tough. But anyways, they announced some games for the Dragon Quest line.
6 new Dragon Quest games.
Mm-hmm.
They started small with a dumb mobile game. It looked cute though.
Yeah.
It's based on those little Japanese erasers. I don't remember the word for it. It's not Kinkeshi because that's the little figures.
Right, yeah.
But it's like that word.
Okay.
But the little Japanese erasers, but it's based on that, but they're Dragon Quest and you match 3.
Okay, so a match 3 game.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a match 3 puzzle game with that particular aesthetic.
Well, that's fine, That's, whatever.
Yeah, I'd play it for free, and it probably will be, so.
Yeah, yep.
After that, they might have went into the Dragon Quest X stuff after that. I think they did. They started talking about the new updates to Dragon Quest X, the online game that we can't play in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've never brought Dragon Quest X to America. They still refuse to do so, even though I think it would do pretty well. And they played this the whole time while slapping no planned worldwide release underneath. So it's just look at this. You can't have it. And I've wanted, that's one of my pie in the sky. I wish they would bring that here.
Oh, yeah.
Games is Dragon Quest X.
Yeah.
It used to be that and Phantasy Star 2. And then we got Phantasy Star 2 and I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
But I wish they would bring it here. They probably won't. Mm-hmm. They also announced that they're making an offline version of Dragon Quest X that has a different visual style, and it tells the story of 10 in an offline way. If you hate the internet, I guess. And maybe we'll get that one. They didn't say one way or the other on that.
Yeah, we might. Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
I mean, I'd like to at least know what the story of the game is, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
It's better than nothing. The old Kenji Inafune, it's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. Yeah. Okay, so what about Dragon Quest Treasures?
This looked kind of neat. They said it was an RPG, but they didn't really explain how it played. But it was a game based on 2 characters from Dragon Quest XI, the latest game in the series. Stories about their childhood and treasure hunting. They said the theme was was childhood and treasure hunting, and that it was an RPG. So,
and that's all you get.
Yeah, that's all you. At least we saw the game.
Yeah,
and it looked cool and fun.
Looks interesting. Yeah,
and Dragon Quest spinoffs are usually pretty good. I don't think they've ever made a Dragon Quest that wasn't on some level good.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's weird that they have so many spin-offs and yet we don't have all the mainline games.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's see. The other one they announced. Let's see. There's the Keshi. There's a remake of 3.
Yes.
That's coming.
By the Octopath Traveler people.
So it's going to look really good.
Yeah, it looks really gorgeous.
Yeah.
3's one of the best ones. So. Mm-hmm. And a good one if you haven't played Dragon Quest before. I think it's a good starter one.
That's a good starter one. I've always liked 7 as a starter.
It's so slow in the beginning, though.
It is.
It takes a solid hour and a half before a fight happens.
That's true. Maybe I think it's a good starter because that's the one I started with.
It's really good, though. It's got that slow burn story.
Oh,
There's something to be said for it.
Oh, sure. The idea that the game makes you permanently lose a party member at one point in 7 is interesting.
Man, what's that about 7s and Japanese RPGs about permanently losing party members?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Who did it first? I'm not sure. I don't know how the times line up.
I don't know, but I think it's similar. I think it's a similar timeline.
Yeah.
Probably close enough that they weren't cribbing off of each other. They probably just
It happened to be
happened to get come to the same kind of thing.
Yeah, and they weren't the same company at that time either.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Before the merger.
Yeah.
Oh man, I miss it back when Enix was his own thing.
I wonder if that's why they won't bring Dragon Quest X here, is because they're afraid it's going to eat Final Fantasy XIV's lunch.
That could be.
Or just like they can't support both player bases. Like
Maybe.
Like
yeah,
it'll
that's maybe more likely.
It'll end up with 2 games with like a lower than average player base. So maybe that's it. I don't know.
Yeah. And the last thing they announced with this, and it was like the quickest announcement, was 12. Dragon Quest 12, right?
It has a pretty wild looking logo. It's really like primal. It looks like the Primal Rage logo.
I was about to say, yeah.
And they gave a subtitle as like the Flames of Fate, I think.
Something like that.
And Yuji Horii, Dragon Quest's dad, said that it's going to be a Dragon Quest for adults and that it's going to involve a lot of player choice.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm in.
Player choice, good. I like that. Dragon Quest for adults, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I guess it does. It's always had kind of that kind of younger aesthetic to it.
Part of the charm of Dragon Quest, I think, is the kind of all ages nature and like the comfort. It's very comforting.
Yes.
It's a very comfortable game. Mm-hmm. He also said that they're not going to have the command menu. Like they're going to do something different with the battle system.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, and Japan's not going to like that.
No.
Last time they tried to do that, they got so mad they ended up changing it back.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they stick to it this time.
Yeah, if they go to like the Final Fantasy VII remake style,
like a real-time kind
of thing. That's not gonna. That's not Dragon Quest.
Not for Dragon Quest.
No,
yeah.
Dragon Quest is you go into a battle and you have the menu, and you very methodically pick out your attacks through a menu.
Yeah, it's like the stalwart turn-based JRPG that none of the other games still have turn-based battles pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for Bravely Default, but that's its whole gimmick, is that it's kind of a throwback.
Right. But yeah, no, I'm excited for 12 though. I still haven't picked up 11. I need to.
Oh, they're on sale now, and it's worth the price of admission because you get a whole lot of content, just
really?
like a buttload.
Plus, on the Switch version, you get the better soundtrack.
You get the good music.
Well, and you can play through the game in 3D, and you can also play through the whole game in
retro
2D.
mode.
And they're basically like two different. Well, they're not different games, but like 2 completely different ways to experience it.
Nice.
I mean, you can't jump back and forth on the fly.
Yeah.
But you can like at chapter breaks.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I might have to check that one out then.
But like there's like hundreds of hours worth of content in there, of main story content in that game. It's huge.
So, not related, but I went and looked up the research I was looking.
Oh yes, the important Mario Brothers Super Show research.
So Super Mario Brothers Super Show, Captain N, and the Legend of Zelda cartoon all came out in 1989.
Huh.
But
okay.
In the episode where Captain N meets Link is in 1990.
So it happened after.
Yes.
So Zelda was on Mario Super Show first, and then they reference it in Captain N later.
They do the most epic crossover of all time.
Yes.
But also, I was going through the episodes of like the Captain N. There's a lot of stuff. Like there's a couple episodes that have Donkey Kong elements in it. Some Mega Man. A lot of.
Well, Mega Man's a main character on the show.
Yeah.
With that awful voice.
Yeah. a lot of Metroid. A lot of Metroid stuff.
Yeah.
Like Mother Brain is like a main villain for
Mother
most
Brain
of it.
is the main villain, and she's voiced by the guy
Audrey 2.
Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. Yeah.
Heck, there's even an episode called Return to Castlevania.
Yeah.
I was like, huh.
There's a Bayou Billy episode, and for some reason Bayou Billy doesn't have a face.
Oh, weird.
And nobody knows why they did it that way.
Oh,
they don't know if
weird.
it's like an animation error or just a weird style choice, but
that's so
like,
weird.
Look it up, it's weird.
Huh. Very weird. All I know is that show had Alucard in it, and he was a skateboarding super cool teen vampire that didn't like his dad. Ugh.
I mean, not far off.
I didn't.
That's true.
I didn't think Alucard popped up until Symphony of the Night.
No, he's in Castlevania 3.
Yeah.
Is he?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. He's one of the playable.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yep.
Man, it's been a long time since I played the old Castlevanias, like the old ones.
3's the best one. 3 rules.
I don't
And
know. I
that's-
just like the music.
That's the one. That's
I
the
mean-
one that the show's based on. Is
Yeah.
Castlevania 3.
I mean, Castlevania music's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the
it's-
way down.
It's the best. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm interested in this.
All right, so hey, we were talking about Dragon Quest 12 and how it is going to be a Dragon Quest for adults. And hey, do you know what else they're trying to make that's not for kids but for adults? A Powerpuff Girls.
a live-action stupid show.
Yep, we have talked about it a little bit that they are working on a live-action adaptation of Powerpuff Girls as disillusioned 20-somethings.
The anime won't be the worst interpretation of the Powerpuffs
It
anymore.
won't, but this live action does take elements from the anime because that is where Dr. Utonium got his first name.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he is Dr. Drake Utonium in both the anime and this live action where he just doesn't have a first name.
Where he's played by Turk from Scrubs.
He is played by Scrubs, but not that Scrubs.
Other Scrubs.
Other Scrubs. So
Bald Scrubs.
So yeah, CW, yeah. So CW is working on this pilot, and reports came out here fairly recently, within the past week or so, that they are going back and rewriting and refilming large swaths of this pilot because CW apparently did not like the direction where it was going, and almost immediately after that was announced, someone leaked the pilot script online. And oh boy, there's some stuff in there that
it's rough.
It's rough. Now the pilot has been taken down from the internet now, which leads credence to the belief that this pilot was actually factual. Because if it were a prank, if someone had made it up, because it reads like someone had just made it up.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that CW had it taken down.
If you would have told me this was bad fan fiction, I would have believed.
Oh,
you.
it reads like bad fan fiction, but the fact that CW took it down from the internet pretty much guarantees that this is the real stuff. I just happen to have a copy of it. I'm not going to read any of it right now for you. We might do sometime down the road. We might do a live
dramatic
reading as like a podcast only bonus. Because I cannot read some of this stuff that is on air that they wanted to put on this show. It is shocking how tone deaf a lot of the stuff is in regards to Powerpuff Girls. I mean, listen, I liked the cartoon when I was a kid, but I'm by no means not a diehard
Powerpuff Girls fan.
I'm not a Powerpuff Girls fanboy. I'm not, they're fine.
I'd say I'm more of a fan of Craig McCracken than I am Powerpuff Girls.
I would say that.
He's the creator of Powerpuff Girls, by the way.
Yeah, that's yes. But having said that, some of the stuff they do with these characters, not only it's weird. It's like they're written so out of character, but also the characterizations that have been picked for them are so lazy that it makes it both shocking and predictable.
Yeah,
which is it's a feat.
I mean, have you watched other CW shows?
Well, sure.
They're all bad fan fiction.
They're all bad fan fiction. That's true. But I don't know why it feels so weird for this, whereas they can do whatever they want in Riverdale.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, yeah, it's Riverdale.
Yeah.
Weird stuff happens.
Or like the Sabrina show, like. If your only point of reference was the
comic.
Well, I was gonna say the Melissa Joan Hart show.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is gonna like just blow your mind.
But the characters in that are acting at least tangentially within kind of the sphere of what their personalities could be.
That's true.
Whereas this Powerpuff Girls, you end up with so it takes place like 10 years, I think 10 or 12 years after their last public outing as the Powerpuff Girls, where they fought Mojo Jojo, who is a human in this.
Yeah, and he's not Mojo Jojo. He's Mojo, and his son's name is Jojo.
And his son's name is Jojo. And Blossom long story short, accidentally kills him in battle. And
Mojo or Jojo?
Mojo, while Jojo watches. And it cuts to 10, 12 years later where the team is broken up. Blossom is now living with pretty much PTSD. Or like panic attacks and stuff like that.
She's like a biochem scientist, I guess.
She has like multiple degrees because she's used her powers to gain multiple degrees. And Buttercup,
She was also the smarter one anyway.
Yeah.
I guess. The Buttercup, the teenage tomboy, who was always my favorite of the three.
Me too.
Unsurprisingly, has been written as a very, very...
She's aggressively lesbian.
Aggressively lesbian. That's a good way of putting it. Like almost every bit of dialogue in the script, it almost references that this one likes girls.
They make a lesbian U-Haul joke. Like,
they do.
What is this, 1998?
Yeah, right. and speaking of 1998 or early 2000s, Bubbles is basically Paris Hilton, kinda failed Hollywood starlet who has addiction problems. Oops a doodle.
And that doesn't fit. I don't think that fits the character.
It doesn't.
She was the cutesy nice one.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. If they would have taken this script and stripped the Powerpuff Girls out of it and just written it about disillusioned adults, 20-something adults that
had powers,
that were teenage superheroes, they could write this and make it work because the Umbrella Academy works, and that's basically what it is. But I don't know, by saddling it with Powerpuff Girls makes it feel so, again, tone deaf, so wrong. It just doesn't click. We were talking off mic. The only character that feels right is Dr. Utonium, and you're not supposed to like him.
Yeah.
Why are you not supposed to like Dr. Utonium?
No, in this show.
In this show, you're not supposed to like him because he is a caring father, but he doesn't show it. He is more of like, oh, you should be using your powers for good and also marketability.
He wrote a character Bible for them. To
kind of stick to
which is a clever take on it. This is the only part of the show I liked was this stuff. Like,
that was interesting.
If you're gonna do Professor Utonium in this kind of like heightened Riverdale world, that's a good twist to throw. That's the only one they did well.
There were a couple bits that I did kind of like in the script. One, they do an offhand comment about the cartoon. The cartoon exists within the universe of the show, but it was a piece of marketing created by Professor Utonium to kind of help brighten their image.
To hype the girls.
The girls. Although it also led to one of my least favorite jokes in the script, where the Buttercup character, who is being portrayed by an African-American woman, makes an offhand comment about how they whitewashed us when they made us cartoons. Which is, again, it's so on the nose that it is both awful and predictable.
Also, they made the aggressive one the person of color, and that's kind of not good, too.
To be fair, Blossom is also part Asian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Chloe Bennett is Sky from
Agents
of S.H.I.E.L.D. is Blossom.
I guess what I'm saying, they made the black one the aggressive
the angry one,
which is like, not good.
Yeah, they also put references to other characters in a couple of spots. Like, I guess Fuzzy Lumpkin is in the intro.
Yeah, which, like, how are they gonna do that?
Is that CGI monstrosity gonna end up?
Oh, it's gonna look awful.
He's gonna look like Solomon Grundy in the Stargirl show, where it looked like Bad Hulk, basically.
Pink Hulk.
I mean, he kind of was Bad Hulk.
It kinda.
But also, Fuzzy Lumpkins was like just this hillbilly archetype that lived out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. They also reference the Rowdy Rough Boys,
the evil Powerpuffs.
But in this universe, they didn't have powers and they were fanboys, trying to get their attention. And also, Bubbles left Butch at the altar to get drunk in Las Vegas or something. That's a whole thing.
I have a pretty high tolerance for Diablo Cody, who wrote this, and her Diablo Cody isms.
Yes.
But But this was
This was
bad.
overload.
This was
left completely unchecked, and I hope they filmed this. And I hope it ends up on the internet,
Like
because
that
I
Wonder
will
Woman
find
pilot.
it, like that Wonder Woman pilot.
I can't believe there was a you need to move on.org.
Yeah, that was
no.
boy, that was a rough line. No, I hope this was filmed. I will go Taken on this. I will find it and I will watch it.
So I wonder how the flying works. Are they gonna make it look on the show where they had the little color stream?
I would hope
and
so.
how is that gonna look with the live action?
It's not going to look great. I'll tell you that.
I mean, even with Supergirl, the flying doesn't look great.
There's some real bad Supergirl shots.
Kind of like
the Flash is running.
Oh yeah, but at least it's not as bad as the Flash running in the movies
Oh, that's fair.
with his arms and legs is kind of just flailing about.
Oh yeah. But no, we might have to do a dramatic reading of some parts of it for podcast only. We'll get some extra people in here. We'll cast it up. We'll do it up right. But yeah.
It's a major step down from Juno.
Well, yeah.
Oof.
Okay, speaking of superheroes, there's a trailer for the next Marvel film that just dropped, The Eternals, or I guess it's just Eternals.
Huh, they dropped the. I think it used to be the Eternals. They must have dropped
Everywhere
the.
I've gone, it's just said Eternals.
Or maybe it says the in really small writing.
But like doing searches for it or anything, it comes up Eternals. It doesn't come up the Eternals. It doesn't come up Marvel's The Eternals. I think they did that because they didn't want people to associate it with the Inhumans.
Oh, that's stupid.
They're no longer the definite article.
So this trailer came out, and I gotta say,
It's boring.
I'm not
Super
impressed.
boring.
I'm not impressed. The story of Eternals is during Earth's prehistoric times, a bunch of space aliens that look like humans but with magical cosmic powers came down to
Like
Earth.
the Asgardians.
Kind of like the Asgardians came down to Earth and subtly shaped the way the world is going. Some of them choose to live among humans, even though they're immortals. Some of them choose to live above humans, but all in hiding. Post Thanos, they all kind of come out of hiding because of the next kind of cosmic threat.
They come out and go, "Whoops, sorry, we weren't paying attention."
Yeah, we weren't. Yep. Oops. Yeah, our people that have all this cosmic energy, cosmic power, all this stuff. Yeah, we botched it.
Yeah, we really dropped the ball. We're very sorry.
Yeah, I guess they're going to be going up against a team of renegade Eternals. There's a term for them, but I don't know.
Say renegade attorneys. they're being sued for their inaction.
That's it. Yes, yes. But it's interesting that while this is an ensemble cast, they have said that the main focal point is the character Cersei, who is being played by the woman who played Min Erva, one of the sniper Kree soldier in Captain Marvel. Same actress.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't be able to recognize her because she's not blue.
She's not blue. She looks like herself. But yes, it's fascinating that it looks interesting, but the trailer did not do it any.
It's just a bunch of people standing around, and it's really washed out looking.
Yeah.
Like there's like one joke, something where somebody says like, what is it like? With Iron Man and Captain America gone, who's going to lead the Avengers? And then
Icarus.
Icarus is like, could be me.
And everyone starts laughing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the only character I really care about is the Black Knight.
And he's not in the trailer.
Yeah. Like Kit Harington's in the movie, and he's the only character that I even remotely know of. Well, is Hercules in this?
Hercules is not in this.
Okay.
Hercules is not an Eternal. In the comics,
Evan Sorbo will not be appearing.
He will not. He will not. No, in the comics, I believe they are. Thanos' race is an offshoot of Eternals.
He's a Titan.
He's a Titan. He's from the planet. He's from the Jupiter's or moon Titan or Saturn's moon Titan. But his race is an offshoot of Eternals. So that could be why they start coming out of.
He's 1/4 Eternal.
Yeah. So because his
and and 3/4 Cherokee.
Oh, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this goes. I'm still a little worried that it's not. This might be one of the few like stumbles that Marvel's going to have. And now that they have access to X-Men again, will this Eternals be a one and done thing, and then these characters are never going to be seen again?
Yeah, I mean,
because that's why they're making an Eternals movie. It's because they didn't, at the time of production, they didn't have access to the X-Men. They're basically X-Men.
I mean, I'll see it.
Oh, I'll watch it too.
But I'm
not saying I won't.
I'm not like excited about it.
No,
that's for sure.
no, definitely
Yeah,
not.
I definitely feel like this one's probably going to be a low tier on my list.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to hit a couple of real quick hits here? 'Cause
Yeah,
we have a
that.
couple minutes left.
They added some new games to Switch Online, but they're bad.
They're a bunch of stink burgers. Yeah.
Mario Golf looks good.
Oh,
there's
man,
a lot of,
New Mario Golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, they showed a new video for like the speed golf mode, and it looks so fun.
And Battle Golf looks great as well. You're in an arena, and there's one hole, and everyone is golfing to try to and fighting each other.
Yeah, and you can like push people and like, use power ups like kind of like Mario Kart. And
Oh, it looks great. It looks great.
I'm all about it.
Yeah.
And they revealed the character roster, and there's some cool like pulls that haven't been in Mario sports games before, like Pauline, King Babam, Charge and Chuck.
Yeah.
Cool stuff like that.
Charge and Chuck's special move is that he just picks up the ball and throws it. That's great.
It's just like he got nervous and didn't know what to do.
He just
He's
forgot. It's like, oh. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Damn the rules.
So Henery Cavill is going to be the new Highlander in a new Highlander film, which is great casting, although, as far as I'm concerned, there can only be one Highlander, and that's Christopher Lambert.
That's the only reason he brought that up.
That is the only reason it's on the list, yes.
Also, they're doing a sequel to Enola Holmes with Henry Cavill.
And that's great. That's cool.
That's been Cavill moment.
Yeah, Cavill time. Stop.
A Cavill
Cavill time.
A cavalcade.
The first Enola Holmes is really fun and cute and a good movie. I would recommend.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty good movie.
They're doing both new Batman animated and new Superman animated.
Great.
And Bruce Timm is involved in the Batman one, so you don't got to worry about that.
What makes me wonder if it's going to be in the same style, because they didn't show anything about it.
No. They did show an image of the Superman one, and it's like oddly kind of anime looking.
It is. Yeah, a little bit.
And also, Lois looks exactly like Luce, the main character of the Owl House.
Oh, really?
Like, exactly.
Interesting.
It's weird how the same they look.
All right. Last thing we have here on the list, R.L. Stine's Fear Street is getting a live action. Is it a show or a movie?
Movies. It's a collection of movies.
Collection of movies.
On Netflix.
And they're going to be R-rated.
I mean, the Fear Street books were more for teenage readers anyway.
They were for the kids that graduated from Goosebumps to Fear Street.
Yes.
Yes. I remember reading a lot of Goosebumps, maybe one or two Fear Street when I was younger.
Yeah, Fear Streets are supposed to be a little more mature than the Goosebump books.
Right.
I mean, even the logo was like a little scarier.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't optioned R.L. Stine's adult book that he came out with. Like, it's probably like 10 years ago now.
You know what? I bet if Fear Street does well, they'll circle back around and try to get some of his other stuff.
I think it's called like Red Rain or something. I bought it and then I never read it, but
But hey, at least you bought it, so you know.
Gotta support.
It counts.
Support local Ohio boy R.L. Stine.
That's right.
I always forget that.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I think about like all the celebrities or famous people that came from Ohio, and it's like it's kind of weird when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like most of the astronauts.
Well, people are so... Never mind.
Marion's own Kelly Sue DeConnick.
That's right. We can claim her, technically.
She won't. She will probably deny it, but
Oh, yeah.
but
Who's
it's
that?
true.
She is one of the more influential writers on Captain Marvel.
Oh,
She's the one that came up with the run with the noose costume that the movies are based off.
She's
of.
actually she's in the movie.
She is, yes,
She
very
walks
briefly.
by briefly in the movie. I saw her in the theater. I was like, oh my god, there she is.
Yeah. But no, she's pretty cool.
One of these days, we should try to get her on the
We
show.
should try. We should.
It's like, hey, I feel like visiting your hometown.
All right, I think with that, we'll go ahead and wrap things up for the week. Thank you all for tuning in. You've been listening to Nerd Overload. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram at Nerd Overload Now.
You can send us an email, staff@nerdoverload.com, with your questions and comments. You can leave a voicemail on the Nerd Overload hotline. The number for that is 586-372-8020. Leave a message and we might play it on the show!
You can also find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. And finally, I'd like to thank David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
Go give us a sub on Twitch. We need 50 of them.